Are you struggling to finally get out of your porn addiction? You've been either at the beginning of your journey right now, or it's been a long time and you're still in that porn addiction. But aren't you interested in knowing at which stage of the freedom from porn addiction you are at right now? Understanding the stages of change can be a game changer in your recovery process. But before all of that, who am I? My name is Wesley, and my mission, my big purposeful mission, is to help prevent 1,000 men from getting to suicidal thoughts, to literally killing themselves because of porn addiction. These are my type of videos, and if that interests you, make sure you subscribe. You're there, laying in your bed, you just woke up, and you're still feeling tired. Yesterday, you slept for 8 hours. 8 full hours during the night, but yet you're still there on the morning, not waking up. You're still tired. You want to sleep for another 2 to 3 hours. Why are you not full of energy right now? Why are you not able to just go straight out of the bed and be ready to conquer the day, to actually achieve a lot today, and have the motivation to do tasks, to actually complete and achieve things? That's because of your porn addiction, and you may not realize it because you're not free from this porn addiction, but that's what's preventing you from waking up with full energy, with your dick full hard, and being ready to actually do things today, instead of just laying down in your bed and trying to sleep for another 1 hour. If you're interested in finally getting that energy back, first link down in the description. On that, let's continue directly with the video. So as I already talked about, there's 5 stages in you getting finally free from your porn addiction. The first stage is the precontemplation. That's basically almost everyone right now. You're not even aware that it's an addiction. You think that just by you, if you want to stop, you would be able to stop. But right now you don't have the one thing to stop, because why would I want to stop if I feel that enjoyable, if I feel pleasure in doing this activity, right? That's the step, the first stage that everyone is at. And when I say everyone, it's almost everyone that is on that addiction, right? They're all on that first stage. They don't even know that it's an addiction, and they just think that they're doing it for themselves because they feel good. And if they would try for whatever reason to quit, they would be able to, because they have full control of themselves. That's what they're saying. But the moment that came from them to actually show that and take a break from it for like 1 week or 2, that's when the realization hit, and they go into stage 2. But by staying in the stage 1, I won't finish by saying that at this point, these persons don't feel like porn negatively impacts their life. And sometimes they even feel that it's good for them. They only see good in porn. They feel like, oh yeah, it brings me pleasure. It brings me management of my stress, of my anxiety. When I'm bored, I can go and fap. When I'm stressed, I can go and fap. When I want to relax, I can go and fap. When I have nothing to do, I can go and fap. They only see fapping to porn as a solution to their problem, and not as what it is really, which is a super bad addiction, super bad habit, and it brings so much problems in your brain that if you will know all of the bad things that happen right now with your brain, you wouldn't have started in the first place. But that's the sad point. Everyone starts because at the start you're already healthy, you're already okay. But now that you have started, you're stuck in that addiction. And everyone that I talk to that is actively trying to quit this porn addiction after they realized and finally took the action to try and go out of this, tell me that if they would have known all the bad things that will happen in their life from this porn addiction, they would have never started at the first place. Everyone, there's not a single person that I talk to that said at the first place I would have started it, like, even though I knew all of what was coming. Everyone said I wouldn't even have started it at the first place. So you can kind of see the point of it, right? The pre-contemplation is the stage most people are at. But when you realize that porn is actually bad for you, you start to actually realize it, right? So you enter the second stage, which is the contemplation. So the first stage was the pre-contemplation, now it's contemplation. And in the contemplation stage, you actually know that something needs to be done, right? You know that right now you're in this addiction. You realized and acknowledge the fact that you are addicted. Maybe you tried to quit because a challenge has been sent to you, right? Someone said, oh, I bet you can't go for 1 full month without fapping. For example, for No Nut November. No Nut November came and you said to yourself, oh yeah, this year I'm going to do No Nut November. And 1 week passes, you're at day 9 of No Nut November, and what happens? You relapse and you fail No Nut November. So now that's the realization, right? You said all this time to everyone, if I wanted to quit, I would be able to. If I want to not fap, I won't fap, right? But now that you have to not fap, you fapped. So you kind of realize that even though you have the full willpower, you're really trying to stop fapping, you can't. And that's what makes you enter the second stage of contemplation. But you're not yet started on your journey. You're still weighing in the pros and the cons of trying to quit. You're saying, yeah, I see all the bad benefits that come from that. I see that I have loss of energy, I have anxiety, low self-confidence, but it brings me a lot of things. And you actually find value into you going and fapping 2 pixels of naked women on your cell phone. And that's the crazy part. When you're on this addiction, you find good reasons to stay. But once you're going to be free from this, because I trust you, I know that you're going to have the strength to finally quit this addiction at one point in your life. When you're finally going to get free from this, you're going to look back on it and ask yourself, like, what the fuck? Why was I having all these reasons to continue? There's no reason to continue at all. I was just dumb, making myself reasons to not do the effort to quit. That's like actually me. When I look back on my journey, I realized that I was making so much excuses to not quit. Every time I tried to quit, I was like, yeah, but like, why would I do that? Like, I enjoy doing it, so why would I quit? And sometimes I would say to myself, yeah, but like, it's not like right now I'm having a girl to fuck, so like, I'll continue for now, and when I have a girl to fuck, now I'll stop. And I was kind of always finding excuses to continue until a point where I say to myself, no, that's like the end point. Right now I'm going to make the change, and I'm tired of it. I'm not doing it for someone else, for the future girl, for the future wife of my kids, for another person. I'm actually doing it for myself because I want to be optimal. I want to be at the better stage in my life. And I already talked about it, but I'm someone that loves to compete with others. And like, logic makes it so that others that don't fap have an advantages over me because they're not fucked up by the porn addiction and they're not fucked up by anything. So they have full concentration. And because I'm competitive and I know that they have better focus than me, I successfully stopped alone and with other strategies as well. But that was the initial motivation that I had. It's that there's people in life that have it better than me. And that motivation really helped me in my journey. So that was what really started to make the change to me and actually really putting the effort in and finally quitting for good. And I didn't masturbate from that point on. And it's been like months and months right now. I didn't fap a single time, didn't watch porn a single time. I'm on full-on semen retention. And you can like just think about it and say, oh yeah, but he's online, right? I'm just another dude online, right? But like, if you would know me and just talk with me and all, you could see I'm a human too, right? We are all humans, and I could do it, right? So if I could do it, why wouldn't you be able to? You just don't have the knowledge that I had at this point. But for example, if you ask for my help, I could give you this knowledge and you would be able to quit on your own too, right? Well, it wouldn't be on your own because I would be there helping you. But you get the point. You will be able to get free and get the advantages. Get finally free from this addiction. And that's what I want for you. Then, after all of that, you finally enter the third stage. The third stage is the preparation. You make the choice to actually quit. So you weighted the pros and cons, you realized and took the choice to say, I'm going to quit. There's no pros, only cons. I'm quitting. Now that you make the choice to actually quit, you have a goal. Remember the goal that I said to you. You have a goal. Now that you have the goal, you have to prepare the goal. Plan the next step in order for you to actually succeed. So how are you going to do that? You're going to maybe make research on internet. You're going to search for strategies, search for people that already quit, maybe search for someone to help you in your journey to make your results appear faster, right? You don't want to be the one to relapse 10 to 20 times before finally getting free. You would much rather prefer to actually just maybe relapse 1 to 2 times and be free from that on, right? Maybe save 3 months of relapses in your life and being free 3 months earlier because you actually paid someone that was qualified in this aspect, right? You're finally taking steps in the good way, the good path. You're there putting in effort, really fighting through the urges and through everything that I talk about in every video. Maybe you've watched other videos that I've made, so you're already on that stage, right? On the third stage. Because you're trying to actually get free from your porn addiction and you're there learning about it to try and overcome it by yourself. And that's a way to do it. That's better than not doing it, right? But you have better ways to actually quit faster, and that's what I'm trying to offer, right? I'm there to actually make you quit faster with less effort and more guidance. And I actually keep you accountable and I have so much to offer to you to actually make you free faster in an easier way and everything, right? So if you're interested, first link down in the description. Anyway, after all the research that you have made right now, you drop in the fourth stage. The fourth stage is the action stage. So now you actually are trying to quit, right? You maybe learn the willpower method. I already made a video on that, but I'll talk about it. You try to quit on your own, by your own will. You say, okay, I will fight on my own against my own brain to convince him that porn is not good. And this works for the first week. Usually at the second week, you're already relapsing. What happens is that your brain is still convinced that porn is good for you, right? You've been maybe 5 years to 10 years addicted to this porn addiction. So for 5 to 10 years, you were fapping almost every day on a regular basis. Now, from the one day to another, you try to completely stop and erase this habit that you build over 10 years of non-stop fapping. So your brain, as something normal, reacts in a way that says like, what the fuck are you doing? We are going to die. You're trying to change way too quick. And because you didn't convince it, you don't have maybe the real reasons of why you are trying to quit, your brain will be able to actually manipulate you and give you a reason to go and fap again. And I'm talking from experience, right? You can guess that I went through this journey a lot, right? And I'm kind of I'm a coach on this, so I know what I'm talking about. Your brain will be able, even though you have the resolution, right? You went through a lot of sites, you searched a lot about it, and you convince yourself that it's the good way. The good path is to quit because of this. you have other reasons. During your journey, there will be a time where your brain will be able to remember all these reasons and actually demolish every reason that you had to quit. For example, you have this reason that, oh, porn brings you nothing, right? Porn only brings you bad things in life, such as low energy, and it's not an answer to your stress. That's one thing that I can say to porn. You have this in your mind, and you were a stressful person in life, so you had a lot of stress, and you realize that porn doesn't help you manage that stress. It just brings you even more stress and only helps in managing the stress that it actually brings. So you quit because you realize that right now it's not a solution, it's only a problem. And during your recovery process, you're going to feel stress. And what happens is your brain will say things like, imagine right now if you would be able to fap and resolve all of this stress. And things like that until you manage to convince you that, yeah, why the fuck am I trying to quit right now? And it will arrive to a point where you're actually there arguing with your own self, your own brain. You're in a 1v1 situation with your own brain. He's the opponent in your recovery. And he's there giving you really good arguments, right? He's really good at convincing people, especially you. And you're there and he's giving good reasons and you're not sure, and because now you're not sure, he's giving even more good reasons, and at a point he actually convinced you. So now, okay, today I'm going to do it, and he convinced you to do it right now. It needs to be done now. And what happens? That's the urges. And now, because you kind of made a concession, I think. But anyway, you said to your brain, yes. You said, oh, okay, I will do it today. And what happens? You grab your phone, go into the bathroom, and you fall. Now you're relapsed. You have to start your journey all over again. But the important point is to learn from that, right? But that's something that nobody does. They just relapse and think to themselves, oh, then I'm so miserable. I'm so not able to do it, right? Learn from it. How did your brain manage to convince you? By learning the path that it used, you can block it. So next time it's going to be even harder. And at a point it's going to be so much hard that it's going to be too hard for it to actually convince you. And it will be way easier for you to actually quit. But that's like the funny part, right? Your own brain convincing you to actually go and do something bad because it got addicted so badly during those 10 years. And that happened to me too, right? My own brain, that's why I'm laughing right now, basically. I'm not laughing at everyone that is still addicted. I'm laughing at my own self because I remember all these days that I relapsed and I was like, what the fuck is my own brain against me? Like, I always thought I was the one controlling my own brain. But because of that porn addiction, my brain was actually the one controlling me. He was convincing my body to go and fap even though I didn't want to, like against my will. And anyway, I stopped talking about this, but like it's every time I think about it, I just can't help but laugh. Like, it's so funny to think that you're against your own self, and you have to actually beat it in order for you to succeed in your recovery. So that was the fourth stage, and finally the fifth and last stage is the maintenance and the relapses, as I just talked about the relapses. And that's the hardest part. The first part to actually acknowledge it is either you make it or you don't make it, right? There's people that for all their life never acknowledge the fact that it was an addiction, and they die at like maybe 100 years old, and they pass maybe 86 years in that addiction, and never in their life where they're happy, because porn addiction took all of their happiness and prevented them from enjoying real life connections, real life experiences with other people. That's really sad, right? You don't want to be this person that's like 80 years old that's still being on his phone fapping to naked girl online, right? That naked girl, by the way, that are like 60 years younger than you. That would be kind of messed up, right? You don't want your future self to be this person, right? You want your future self to be free from all of this. So you might as well start your journey right now and be free the faster that you can. And as I already talked about the relapses happen. It's things that will happen. I don't know a single person that went on their journey and never relapsed and I continued. Maybe it didn't happen right now, and in the future I will meet someone that happens. But like most of the time, if it's not all the time, for me right now and all the person that I met and that I talked about it all happened. Relapses can happen, but they don't mean failure, right? You didn't fail your recovery journey because you relapsed. It's just a setback. It's just something that will prevent you from going straight out of this porn addiction. But the important point is that you have to continue. You don't fall from this, right? Learn from this mistake. Learn why did you go and fap. What does your brain use against you to actually convince you? What trigger was used to give you the urges to want to go and fap? And what was the environment? How, at which hour? Actually analyze why you went and fap and make sure that it don't happen again. Because I see people that fap and relapse a lot of the time for the same reason. You're not supposed to relapse for the same reason, right? If you relapse for the same reason, that's because you didn't learn from your mistake. If you see that, for example, each time you open your phone, you have a big heart attack. No, heart attack means you're dead, right? But let's say every time you open your phone, you have a big headache, right? The next time that you have your phone, you won't open it because you remember that the last time you opened it, you had this big headache, right? So you won't open your phone on your chair. Maybe you will wait for yourself to get up and open your phone, because when you're getting up, you don't have the headache. You're only having this when you're sat down on your chair looking at the phone like that, right? So you're never going to be like that because you don't want to feel the headache again. The same principle applies to porn. If you realize that every time you go for 10 minutes on TikTok, you go and fap after it, don't go 10 minutes on TikTok. Like, you're almost asking to relapse at that point, right? And that's something that the porn addiction prevents you from actually thinking clearly about it. Because if you'll be able to think clearly about it, everybody could be free when they really want to from porn. But the porn addiction makes it so that people still think that way. They think that they can be free whenever they want until they actually have to quit, and now they realize that they're not able, and now they realize that I'm kind of not thinking clearly, right? I'm kind of not at my full potential right now. And that's when people that actually wants to go at that full potential, now they take the actions to actually quit this porn addiction. So just a quick recap. First stage is the precontemplation. You think that it's not an addiction, it's just something that you like to do. And if you really wanted to quit, you would be able to whenever you want. Second stage is contemplation. You actually start to see that, oh, maybe it's an addiction. And now you're starting to really see the addiction in itself. But you're not set on your recovery journey yet. You're still waiting in what needs to be done. Then the third stage is the preparation. Now you're fully convinced that you have to quit, but you don't have the knowledge, right? So you still have to make research, and you're trying to get the knowledge from other people that quit. So how did they quit? What did they use? And things like that. You get support from other people. The first step is the action. You actually take the action. Now you actually start your journey. You're taking in the help, and you're getting help maybe from a mentor or things like that. You're getting advice. You're starting on yourself, and you're actually stopping fapping yourself. And the fifth and last step is the maintenance and the relapses. Now your journey officially begins. You will try your hardest to stay on your recovery process, and sometimes you will have relapse. After these all 5 stages happen, there's the final stage, the 6th, but it's not really a stage, right? You're finally free. After the maintenance, you just have to maintain it for the rest of your life. But after a certain point, for example, I'm glad I'm there. It's been a long time that I'm there now, but you don't have the urges anymore. The urges are just at the start because of these 10 years to 15 years of porn addiction non-stop fapping. Now that you're kind of free, you feel it when you're finally free. I'm not having urges right now. I don't go on my phone and if I see a random girl dancing and shaking her butt, I'm not like, oh shit, I have to go and fap and things like that, right? But you can try to imagine that right now I'm exaggerating, but there's a lot of people that it's really the case. And right now, if I see, for example, even if I see random on Instagram, for example, a girl getting fucked by a dude, that happens sometimes. I don't know how they successfully post it on internet, and it appears on my feed like out of nowhere. But sometimes it happens. The shit happen in life, right? And if I see it, I don't feel urges and oh shit, I want to go and fuck. I just say, oh, I'm so happy to myself that I'm finally free from this. And I just scroll. Like I don't like and watch and try to watch more, right? I'm just continuing my life. Things happen. If I see, I don't know, a sex shop, it won't remind me of, oh yeah, when I was fapping before and everything, and now it creates urges, right? I would just continue with my life and things that happen. Shit happen, right? So you don't have to fight the urges all of your life, and that's may seem scary for some people because a lot of time when they hear and you have to maintain it, maintaining it means that every day is going to be a great battle against yourself for the rest of your life. But it's not every day, right? It's at the start for like maybe the first 2-3 first month. It's a battle. The first month is always the hardest. But after the first month have passed, the second 2 months after, to make the full 3 months, is kind of easy. And after a third month, you're basically free. You're never really going to go and fap again. And you can imagine that all the month after, it only makes it more certain that you're finally free, right? I didn't count the month, but I know that it's been a really long time since I last fapped, and I don't even have any urges, right? As I said to you, I know that I'm finally free from it, and I see all the benefits that I got from that, and that's why I'm basically so kind of excited to actually help someone get these benefits, because I can see that it really helped me in my life, and it kind of transformed my way of living life in a better way, right? So because it worked for me, I actually want someone else, at least 1 or 2 person. Right now, my goal is to help prevent 1,000 men, but that's just for now. If I help prevent 1,000 men, I will upgrade the rank. My goal is to have no one on porn addiction anymore. But I can't start with this goal, right? I have to start a little and achieve bigger and bigger. So right now, my goal is to help prevent at least 1,000 men from getting to killing themselves because of that. And if you're actually one that is interested by that, don't forget the first link in the description. I will be glad, really glad. I'll actually be excited to help you. Like, like on the thing I said, I will only give 2 calls, but I will gladly just give you like 4 or 5 calls if you really need it, right? My goal, if you subscribe to that, is to help you actually getting free from this porn addiction. That's my goal, and I'm more interested in you getting free than you are on your own journey. So you can see it as kind of messed up, but that's just the way I am, right? I always been that person that really loves to help people, and as I said, I would be more excited than you in your own journey. Like every time you would talk about your journey to me, I'll be like, oh no way, you actually did that, what the Anyway, and that's, take care of yourself. Mwah.